Hello and welcome. My name is Matt Ritchie. I'm excited to have you here with us today, hanging out. I'm here in beautiful Leucadia, California, just north of downtown San Diego, right near the beach, and I'm excited to give you a little insight on how you can do a better job of creating your own reality. So reality is a very formable entity that I'm excited to dive into. So just to introduce myself, I'm Matt Ritchie. I'm a lifestyle architect, and one of the oh good, we got more people popping on here. Good deal. Everyone out there can hear me. Why don't you go ahead and put a yes in the chat box to the right. If you're listening to my voice, go ahead and type me a yes so you can hear me. All right, good deal. So, how to create your own reality. My name is Matt Ritchie, lifestyle architect, mentor, coach, entrepreneur, and lover of life. So, the reason you're here tonight is to get a better understanding of how you can create your own reality, and what that even means to create your own reality. And my passion as a mentor, coach, entrepreneur is to really help people create rich, rewarding, and fulfilling lives. And gaining clarity around your passion and your life calling is something that just really, really touches my heart in a deep, deep place. Because the more people we have following their passion and doing something they feel called to do, something that's in line with their heart, the more amazing things we're going to have in this world, the more happy, fulfilled people we're going to have. And when we have amazing, happy, fulfilled people, a lot of the problems that we see as problems today really kind of disappear. So in doing this, it gives you a little bit of control over your life, control over your destiny, your journey. That thing that you're going through every single day gives you a little more tactile control. And of course, while doing this, everyone wants to make a little more money. And going along this journey of life, everyone has a money ceiling. Everyone has a point in which their limiting beliefs keep them from earning more money. And this money ceiling is something that when you break through, you can have tremendous breakthroughs in all areas of your life, and that will allow you to have a higher and higher money ceiling. So let's keep moving here. The reason that you guys are all here today is not to see me. It's not to know about me, but I want to give you a little background about me just so you know who I am. I'm a certified master NLP practitioner, and NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. And that's just a fancy way of saying give you a blueprint into the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind controls about 80% of all of our movements, all of our functions are controlled through the subconscious mind. So when you think about 80% of everything you do is being unconscious, is living by default. So when we can go in and reprogram certain things and have better insight to the subconscious, then we can have more control, can have more input into where our life's going and what we're accomplishing. So above that, I love to travel, been all around the world, Southeast Asia, South America, all over our great country of America here. And traveling for me is such an experience of connecting with different people, gaining different perspective, and really just seeing the world from a hugely different perspective than we have here in America, and especially here in Southern California. If you're listening in Southern California right now, we live in a little bit of a bubble. Definitely a little different than the rest of the country and definitely the rest of the world. And of course, I've done many nonprofit work where I'm mentoring high school kids, younger kids, Big Brothers programs. I love to just be a positive influence in people's lives. So being a life mentor is something I'm super passionate about. And of course, entrepreneur. I've had a few businesses in the past. I had a marketing business, had a few other businesses when I was younger. And working a 9-to-5 or working in what I call the old economy is something that moving forward is going to be less and less of, and the world is going to be producing more and more entrepreneurs and people who are creating their life and creating a job for themselves to change the world and see how they see fit to bring themselves into that change and into that part of the world that needs them. And above all, above everything, I am just a lover of life. I love just being here and now in the present moment and really connecting with the people in and around my life. So a couple misconceptions. I don't know who out there has read the manuscript, the great book, Think and Grow Rich, but it's sort of the entrepreneurial's Bible. And of course, I've read it a few times, and Think and Grow Rich sounds too good to be true. So, is it possible to really just think and get rich? Well, yes and no. Within every truth, there is a portion of a lie, and vice versa. Within every lie, there's some truth. So the premise behind Think and Grow Rich, if you haven't read it, is really about gathering your thoughts. It's really about aligning your thoughts with actions and with businesses that will make you money. And that's a very generic, watered-down explanation of an amazing book. But I think a lot of people read the title, Think and Grow Rich, or the premise behind it, and they think it's silly. They think it's not true. But the book is now over 70 years old, and it is considered to be one of the most highly decorated books on personal development, on business development that ever was. So Think and Grow Rich is definitely something that I would recommend reading if you haven't already. And if you're skeptical, good, because every great thing should come with some skepticism. And I'm not sure who out there has read or watched the movie The Secret, but this is one of my favorite conversations I have with people. A lot of people watch the movie or read the book, and they get kind of upset. They're like, it's definitely not that easy. I can't just sit on my couch and pretend that I'm driving a Ferrari, and then all of a sudden one's going to just show up in my driveway. And to those people, I say, you are absolutely right. You are 100% right. And where The Secret, I think, gets really misconstrued is they don't weave in the necessity of action. So not only do you have to align your thoughts and align your visualizations and take action on things every single day, doing that every single day, you have to go out in the physical world and take action. So if I really want to buy that Ferrari, I can sit and visualize it, and I can smell the leather, and I can feel this grip of the steering wheel, I can hear the engine revving, and I can feel the acceleration as I press down on the gas, and that's great. That's a perfect place to start. But you have to really go out and take action. What action am I going to take that's going to get me that Ferrari? Maybe it's as simple as just going to the dealership and buying one. But for most people, it's more about the things that they're going to need to do in order to afford that Ferrari. The steps in between them having the Ferrari and where they're at right now. And that's where a lot of the ideology gets very muddled with people who have not done anything further than read The Secret or watched the movie. So another common misconception that I hear from people is that it's hard to create your life. It's hard to do things. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. All these thought processes around hard. And in my experience, working with people, working with other entrepreneurs, working with CEOs, it's actually easier than you might think. And why would I say that? Well, think about it this way. If you are living someone else's dream, you're waking up every single day and you're not excited to go to a job and you're not making an impact in the world. Maybe you're making good money, maybe you're not, but you're not enjoying your coworkers, you're not enjoying the process, the journey of life, then that to me sounds a whole lot harder than what it takes to be an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur myself, waking up every single morning and being excited to go to work, being excited to do the things that I have to do on my list of things is a really fulfilling feeling. And work, the old saying is, if you find something you love to do, you'll never work another day in your life. And this is absolutely true. So the idea that it's hard is just not true. It's all about perspective. And some people just are not cut out to be entrepreneurs, and that's okay. Not everyone is made to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone is made to go out and start their own business. But that doesn't mean that A, it's hard, or B, you can't have a fulfilling life. So I work with a lot of clients that want to just have more fulfilling work. They're not necessarily the entrepreneurial type. They're not looking to go out and start a business, start their own company, but they want to do something that's more fulfilling. And that is something you have complete control over, and that will make your life more fulfilling and, in my opinion, easier to get up every single day, to do the things you have to do, to enjoy the process of life. Because we're only here for a finite amount of time. And if we spend that finite amount of time doing things that are draining, that are boring, that we just hate to do, well, that sounds like a pretty hard life to me. So let's keep moving here and tell you a little bit about my journey. So if you don't know me, I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I moved out here when I was 22 years old. But before I moved, I had a really successful career in motocross. So at the age of 13, I got my first motocross bike and started racing the circuit and got really good. And for about 7 years, I traveled around the country, had sponsorships, and had free gear and bikes and all that stuff, and really was hoping to become a professional motocross racer. And at the age of 19, I had an unfortunate accident that really made me stop and think. I was at a big race and my bike got stuck, the throttle got stuck, and I launched off this bike, off this jump, and just came down and hurt my back. And at that point in time, I was 19 years old, which in motocross years is probably about middle-aged, and I just really came to this point where I was like, you know what? I want to be able to walk when I'm 30, and if I continue on this journey, if I continue on the path that I'm on right now, I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know that in 11 years that I'm going to be able to walk, that I'm going to be able to avoid injuries and really be successful at motocross. So at that point in time, I made the decision, made the hard choice to give up my dream of becoming a professional motocross racer and going to work in my family's business. So my family has a car dealership, and so I got plugged into that, and for 3 years, I woke up every day, 5 to 6 days a week, worked 12 to 14-hour days, really gave it my heart and soul. And I grew up around the car industry, and I loved cars, but it was just something missing. One day I woke up about 2.5 years after I started, and I had all the money, and I had all the toys, I had fast cars, and I just woke up and I was like, is this all there is? There's got to be more to this. There's got to be more to life than just waking up, going to a job, getting a paycheck, going out, drinking. And at the age of 22, I really had this calling to do more. I don't know if you've ever felt that, but I really just felt lost and unfulfilled in the work that I was doing. So at the age of 22, I made the decision to travel all the way across the country, pretty much as far away from my hometown in Pennsylvania, and land here in San Diego, California. And maybe you think that all of a sudden things started opening up for me, but I stayed here for about 5 years before I really started to find my way. And in those 5 years, I went to school and got a marketing degree, and I started my own marketing company. And just as that was taking off, really getting traction, I took a trip. And this trip was really, really life-changing. In this trip, I had an epiphany. I call it the Cambodian epiphany, because when I was traveling in Cambodia, I met people that were completely different than me. They were completely different lifestyles than I was leading, and were so completely happy. They were so happy. These people lived in huts. They had their cows tied outside. They had no clothes hardly. And when we came to their villages, when we walked through, they were just so happy. Their kids were out playing, and they would invite us in, or they wanted to talk to us. And they were just overall had a really, really high quality of life. And I looked at these people, and I'm like, how are these people happy? How are they happy? Like, they have nothing. They have no material, goods. They have barely food to eat. But they had each other. They had people. And at that point, I really had a shift in my life where I was like, wow, maybe it's not about money. Maybe my journey in life is not to accumulate the most money and buy the most stuff, buy things that are going to make me happy and have that beautiful house and drive that Ferrari and all these things that I thought that I wanted. All the things that society told me that I should want. So when I came back from Cambodia, I was kind of depressed. I was kind of like, wow, my life is really not on the path that I want it to be. My journey is really not lining up the way I want it to line up. So I made a decision that I was going to change. And in that decision, I decided to leave my business, which people thought I was crazy. People were like, wow, you just got this set up and you're going to leave already? I'm like, I got to do what I got to do. So I leave my business and I started coaching. And before I totally left my business, I started coaching people for free just to make sure I liked it. And I started coaching. And after that, I was like, wow, changing people's lives, having an impact in someone's life directly, and seeing the transformation firsthand was something that I was immediately drawn to. And if you've ever talked with somebody, given a friend advice, or really seen a change in somebody that you had a part in, there's such an amazing feeling. And our brains put off this dopamine, this chemical that really gives us a feeling of connection and love. And this connection and love is what's driven me into everything that I've done so far within my business. And now as a lifestyle architect, I want people to get inside themselves and really dig deep within themselves to find what that connection, what that love is for them. How are they going to experience more connection and more love? So in order to get you on the right track for that, one of the very first things whenever I'm working with somebody is I have them do gratitude. And I know gratitude's been played, everyone's talking about gratitude, but it's for a good reason. With gratitude, there's so many amazing breakthroughs that I've had. It's been over 2 years now since I've been doing a daily gratitude practice. And the epiphanies I've had and the doors it's opened up and the shifts that it's made in my life is something that undoubtedly is super powerful. And working with now hundreds of people, looking at the results, I would say 95% of the people really not only enjoy it, but have some sort of breakthrough when they do gratitude for an extended period of time. So if you're sitting down, if you're listening to my voice right now, I want you to go ahead and plant your feet on the ground. And I want you to start to take a couple deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. I'm going to take you through a really quick visualization around gratitude. Keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you feel your body sinking deeper into your chair, and as you hear my voice echoing throughout your mind, I want you to bring awareness to your body. I want you to bring awareness to the physical sensations that your body produces. And as you bring your awareness to this, I want you to notice how amazing your body is. Just notice all the physical sensations, all the touches, all the smells, all the things you're hearing right now. Just really get present in the here and now. And as you get present to the here and now, I want you to bring your awareness to one thing that you're thankful for. And that could be something as complex as thankful for somebody who've done something for you. Or it could be as simple as being thankful for the breath in your lungs, being thankful for the trees that produce oxygen, that allow you to breathe and live. But I want you to get really present to one thing, just one thing in your life that you're grateful for. Got it? Good. So I want you to take this one thing that you're grateful for, and I really want you to see it. I want you to experience it in the here and now. And as you're experiencing the gratitude for the here and now, I want you to get completely present to the feelings you're feeling. You feeling that feeling in your stomach that just really allows you to release and let go of all the thoughts, all of the mental chatter you have around whatever it is, whatever chatter you have, just let that go. And bring your gratitude right around whatever it is that you're grateful for. So right now, I'm just extremely grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you in the here and now. And as I'm visualizing you listening to my voice, being there extremely relaxed, it brings a huge smile to my face, and I get this rush. My body releases those same chemicals that are produced when you hug somebody, are produced when you tell someone you love them. This feeling of gratitude is extremely powerful. Now, as you feel this feeling, I want you to go ahead and start to bring sensations back into your body, come back into the here and now. Open your eyes if you had them closed, and just smile, knowing that bringing gratitude in your life does so many different things, but the main thing that it does is that it sends the universe, it sends the vibration to the universe that I am thankful for what I have, and I'm open to receiving more. Because what I found out is they are one and the same, that same vibration. So when you are extremely grateful for what you already have, this allows the universe, this allows people to bring other things into your life, to open up to possibilities that maybe weren't there before. And when you are in the presence of gratitude on a daily basis, on a consistent daily basis, this will raise your vibration, and it'll bring things into your life that weren't possible before. It'll bring things into your life that you're ready to receive. And God, universe, whatever you want to call it, is there to provide for you. It just needs to have the green light to do it. And gratitude really gives that green light. So I want you to think about your morning ritual. I don't know if you have a morning ritual. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. My personal morning ritual is pretty long, but in there is gratitude. And it's actually in there twice. So important, I've added it twice. So the very, 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 very first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning, I woke up, open my eyes, and I smile. And automatically, boom, sets the tone. So I don't know if you've ever played sports or watched sports, but like the first minute of the game, like I was watching the soccer game, the U.S. soccer game yesterday in the World Cup, and within the first 45 seconds, Belgium already had a shot on goal. And that set the tone for the entire game. If you watch that game, the goalie for the U.S. had a record 16 saves, and then 2 that went in. So they had so many shots on goal, and that really set the tone within that first 45 seconds that they were going to attack, and that was going to be the energy they were bringing, as opposed to the U.S. that didn't have a shot until way, way into the game, and they had less than, I think, 7 or 8 shots total on game. So those thoughts you think when you first wake up really set the tone for how you live the rest of your day. So I ask you, are you starting your day in gratitude? Are you starting your day and a vibration that is going to pull amazing, happy people and activities into your reality? That's a great question to ponder on. Because if you're not starting in gratitude, or if you're not even including gratitude in your day, it's my belief that you're leaving a lot on the table. There's a lot more that you could be pulling into your life. There's a lot more control to make and create your reality the way you want to see it fit. So my challenge to you is to take action and start writing down daily gratitude. Wake up, keep a pen and a pad of paper beside your bed, and as soon as you wake up, as soon as you smile, and find 3 things you're grateful for. You can do more, but start with 3. And when you start bringing in those things you're grateful for, you'll be surprised how many things you'll want to write down. I know when I first started out, I was like, oh man, 3 things, that sounds like a lot. And then I sat down and I got into it, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of things I'm grateful for. There's literally thousands of things I'm grateful for. So this morning I woke up, and one of the things I'm always grateful for is just to wake up. You know, some people never wake up. You know, they go to bed and something happens and they never wake up. So I'm so grateful just to wake up. Wake up, have breath in my lungs, and then I'll look over and see my amazing partner Angie beside me and just smile, knowing that I've attracted and have an amazing person in my life to share this journey with. So when you wake up in the morning, whatever that is, focus on the gratitude, focus on the good things, and I guarantee you, if you do this consistently, that you will not only be in a better mood and happier throughout your day, but you'll see things start to open up for you. You'll see opportunities where there was once nothing, and that is real control of your life. That is really putting the reins on your reality, because when you can attract things to you as opposed to chasing things down, life becomes a whole lot easier. Yeah, life becomes a whole lot easier when you're not taking your time and precious energy and chasing down these dreams, chasing down things that are avoiding you because you're not in the right mindset, you're not in the right vibration to attract them into your life. So I know we spoke a lot about the gratitude, and that's only a very, very small part of the morning ritual in which I do. So I'm going to have a webinar next week as well, and I'll share a link with that after this webinar is done. I'm going to have a really cool webinar on how to start your day, and how to start your day with a powerful morning ritual, and how you can really set the tone for your day to be amazing, and how you can really attract amazing things into your life. So I just want to give you a heads up on that right now. And I know I want to be in integrity and really be conscious of everyone's time. It's been half an hour right now, and I want to see if there's any questions. I'm going to put something in the text box over here, and if you see it here, go ahead and if there's any questions that you have, go ahead and just type something in on the right here. There you go. You get to see my beautiful house right here, right now, me present with you. All right. So a question. So the question is, how do I, let me see if I can reframe that. How do I know when I'm in that right vibration? How do I know if gratitude is working? And that's a great question, because sometimes we do things every day for a while, and it doesn't seem like anything's happening. It doesn't seem like it's working. And how do you know that it's working? How do you know that you're in that vibration to attract things into your life and to really have a better grip and control of reality? Well, in my experience, after doing things for a certain amount of time, they become habit, they become routine, and we kind of forget the way we used to be. We kind of forget the way our life used to unfold. And it's like, why, you look at the tangible results of someone who takes a before and after picture for weight loss, right? You have these dramatic changes of this overweight person to this probably very ripped, buff person now. And while those are okay, it's really hard to see the differences between where you were at before and where you're at now when we're talking about mentality. So you really need to set markers. You need to set markers in your life of how you're feeling. So when I wake up, how do I feel? Maybe tomorrow just wake up and just notice, how am I feeling? Am I feeling dread? Am I feeling sadness? Am I feeling excited? Am I feeling ready to take on my day? How are you feeling when you wake up in the morning? And this feeling can be a marker. So whenever you start your gratitude, or before you start your gratitude, or even just remember how you felt this morning, really take inventory of how you're feeling. Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling aligned? Or are you dreading getting up and going to work? Are you not excited about the things you have to do that day? Are you wanting to call in sick and go play hooky at the beach? What is that feeling that you're feeling? And that is the marker. That is the telltale of if things are working. Because if you're waking up today and you're feeling, unprepared, unfulfilled, and unexcited, then mark that, and then write down how you feel. And then after 3 days of gratitude, after a week of gratitude, check back in. How do I feel now? Well, maybe I feel a little less so. Maybe I feel a little more empowered to do something that I wouldn't have done before. Maybe I feel more, maybe I see an opportunity that showed up that I didn't think was possible before. And then a week later after that, and a month later after that, you'll just continue to see these markers and how they change. And even now, my life changes every single day. Every day that I do gratitude, it gets better and better. And that's really hard to believe. If I was on this call and someone was telling me this 3 years ago before I started my gratitude, I would have thought they were crazy. I would have thought there was no way that being grateful for things and just writing things down that I'm grateful for can change my life. And I'm here to say that, 3 years ago to myself that you're wrong, and it is true because I've experienced it, and I've had multiple people go through this process with me that have had life-changing experiences. So really set a marker, really feel into how your experience is right now, and then give it time. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it a month, and see where you're at. See how it's changed your life. And be consistent. One of the things I talked about with everyone I work with is baby steps. Baby steps within daily consistent action. So you don't have to, do everything right now. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow and go start a business. It's not that. It's not like that. It's about daily consistent action towards the things you want to see come to fruition in your life. And if one of those is just to be happier and be a more excited, loving person, well, great. That can be done sooner than you think. So starting with gratitude is the cornerstone, the number one thing that I recommend people do. And I want to get into more of the details next week when we talk about the full morning ritual, because the gratitude is just a small part of the pie when it comes to a powerful morning ritual. When it comes to a powerful morning ritual, there are many factors that go in there. So you want to be able to connect your mind, your body, and your spirit, and really set yourself up for a powerful, creative day where you're acting as your best self as much as possible. So I'll send you out an email link whenever I get the webinar set up for that. But I want to just thank you for coming today. If there's any more questions, go ahead and type them in the box to the right here. I'm free to take questions for the next 10 minutes. If there's anyone else that has any burning questions that you want to ask me, it doesn't even have to be around this. If you have a question around anything, if you have a question around my journey, around your journey, you want to ask me a question, I'll be happy to answer it. I'm going to give one more minute here to see if anyone else has any questions. And I would love to hear any feedback you have. So if you found this webinar through Facebook or through my email list, however you're here now, I would love for you to connect with me and really give me some feedback on what you got out of this, on what you'd like to see, what I can do better. I'm always growing. I'm always improving. My life is a constant state of change, as is everyone's. And for me, I've decided that since I'm changing anyway, that I might as well be improving and making myself a better version of myself than I was previously. So I'm always, always, always open to any and all feedback. So however you connected with me, whether it be Facebook, email, whatever it is, reach out to me, give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any other questions here, I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds. And then we're going to sign off for the night because I got dinner to eat. I don't know if you guys ate or not, but I'm starving. I have the question, why San Diego? So why San Diego? That's a great question because when I lived in Pennsylvania, before I really decided that I wanted to come to San Diego, I had never been here. I'd only seen it in pictures, and I got to be honest with you, I had a couple main anchors for San Diego. One of them was Saved by the Bell, which is probably the most misrepresentation of San Diego that you could get. And another one was Laguna Beach, which is another interesting representation, considering it was, not even San Diego per se, but it was the ocean. It was really the sunshine and the ocean that brought me to San Diego. And being a person who loves the outdoors, who loves being outside in the sunshine, it was a pretty strong draw to come to a place where it had, 300 days of sunshine a year and barely any rain, and just all these factors that really brought me to a place. And while the weather's great and I love it, that's not the reason I stayed. The reason I stayed is because I found a tribe of amazing people that were doing amazing things that in my previous life where I lived in Pennsylvania, they weren't possible. Those conversations were not being had, those things were not being talked about, and the possibilities for me were very, very small. I had a very, very small money ceiling, if you will. And the reason I stayed here was because I saw the possibilities. I saw all the things that these amazing people were doing. And the community is by far and away the reason I stayed. Having great people to connect with, having amazing business people to mentor, having just friends to do activities with is really a high, high quality of life for me. So some people don't like San Diego, and that's fine. Whatever your high quality of life is amazing. And we all have different needs. I'm a very kinesthetic, extroverted people person. So being around amazing people and having events that really cater to my learning style is something that is hugely important to me. So in designing my life, I looked at the things that I value. I looked at the things that really mattered to me, what would make my quality of life the highest, and I looked to fulfill those. And at 22, I did it on a completely unconscious level. And as I got more aware of it and I brought more awareness into my life around my values and what it is I want to create in my life, I really figured out that San Diego is a really amazing place to be. Thank you for that question. Okay, are there any other questions? Well, I want to again thank you for your time. I'm excited that you were here with me, and I'm excited to connect with you next week. I'm going to do this every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for future Hangouts, I would love to hear them. I'd love to hear your feedback. And have an amazing evening. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Cheers.